Today we're going to look at what I think is the best of the LEGO modulars. Assembly Square came out in 2017. This is the 12th in the modular series. And for me anyway, when this one came out, this is when the whole series kind of took a step up for me. I had gotten several of them up to this point, but when this came out, I think the combination of bigger size and just all of the details that were really worked into this really kind of took everything to the next level. And it had 9 different indoor areas to explore. You know, you had your bakery, florist, and cafe, and you had a music store, photo studio, and dentist, and then a dance studio, an apartment, and a terrace. And that's in addition to the expanded outdoor sidewalk with the fountain. Still, there are a couple things that we're going to examine with it today that we're going to improve upon, I think. But I'd love to hear what you guys think about it too. Number one, we are going to transfer to MILS, and we have this MILS plate built here with the green for the back of the building. The assembly square perfectly encapsulates, I think, why MILS, especially done this way, really enhance the set. This is one of those where, yes, it was nice to have this original come on a green base plate because then you had kind of some yard behind the building. The problem is, though, for the grills that are in the sidewalk, you can see that green base plate through there, which is always kind of weird. By doing the MILS plate like this, where we're going to have green in the back, but then everything else is going to be covered up because we're moving the grills, again, it's going to be an improvement, I think. Another reason this set is perfect for MILS is its size. It is 48 studs wide rather than the usual 32 on most modulars. And at that length on basically 1.5 base plates, it's even more flimsy to move around, heavier and more flimsy. So it's yet another compelling reason why you want to take off the base plate like we're doing here and convert it over to our take on the MILS, which is much stronger, going to make this thing much easier to move around. One other thing as we're transferring from the base plate over to MILS is we're taking out the 1x2 Technic bricks that are built into the first layer of bricks on either side of this building. Those are meant so you can connect the modulars as they are built, but we're putting those Technic pieces into the actual MILS, into the foundation, so there's no need for them to be visible in the actual build. Now, there's one other design change that I want to look at with this building. Again, it looks beautiful, but one thing that's always bugged me is these windows on the second and third floors of this building here, and I'll pull one out here to show you. It's got a mix here where this right here has a window pane, but there is no pane in these other pieces. Again, these pieces on the outside here, they're not built. You can't put a pane in there. And then this kind of window here with the rounded top, they don't make, at least not yet, they don't make window panes for that. So I've never really liked the mix of having just no pane and pane here. So what I would like to do is change this window design to make it so that we have all window panes. So let's build a new window that is going to be the same size as this, and it's got to have the same specs too. We're going to have the same 2x4 plate on the bottom and the same jumpers across the top. Again, so this fits in seamlessly without having to redesign the entire floor. Now, the best part about this is the way this was designed. It's thick. It's also the same height as one of these window panes. So I think we're going to start with that. Okay. Now, what I've decided to do to give this a little bit of character is I'm going to put bars underneath and at least this first window. And I think I want to do it for both for consistency, but let's see how this kind of shakes out. So here's one big main window. Okay. Now I'm going to take a couple of these bracket pieces put them like this, and I'm going to come back to this here in a minute. And a couple of these windows here as a next level. Okay. Now I want to replicate that bar we had on the bottom of the window. Let's just see how that looks. Just like that. Okay, now jumpers across the top. And then, so for those brackets, to put something in the middle of these windows, I kind of wanted to carry on from the awning from down below, or on the ground floor. So if we do just a couple of these cheese slice pieces, again, the same colors below, get some white and some yellow. And there is a new window, same size as the original. Now we put this test window into place to get an idea of how it looks, and it's, like I said, it fits right in there. And I kind of like how the yellow and white there kind of go with the awning below. Just adds a little bit more color along here. So the trick is, of course, that window is repeated 7 times. So we just got to make sure that we've got enough pieces to be able to do 7 of these. And it turns out we do have just enough pieces to be able to do that window 7 times. Now we take all those windows that we rebuilt and put them in to the build, which means we're tearing up the 3rd floor just a little bit. Again, one of the nice things about how this modular in particular is built, but a lot of them are like this, is pieces like this it's relatively easy just to pull out that window and replace it. So now we're going to replace all of these, take a look how it looks, and then we just had to do a couple minor modifications on that window in the corner to be able to get it to fit on the angle. That meant taking the bars off, but again, that's not that big a deal considering the flowers that are in front of that window. So now we have all those windows replaced. Let's take a look at where we're at. I think we're pretty close, although I think there might be just a little bit too much white here. And let's take a look at, instead of having those bars as white, what about changing them all to black? I think it gives a little more contrast. I think it's more realistic color for what a bar might look like, and it fits in with that railing there on the door there on the top level. All right, so we replaced all those bars are now black. Now I kind of like this, but I would love to hear what you guys think about this slightly tweaked assembly square on our version of MILS.